Hey guys, good morning. It's Matt Smith with Talking the SmackDown Wrestling Podcast. Keep them thumbs, them likes, them subscriptions, views, everything going up. My videos on Reels are averaging close to 1,000 to each one. I appreciate everything you do for me and keep sharing that content. I wanted to jump on here and just kind of relay, put a sight on things that maybe people don't see happening that could happen in the wrestling future as it pertains to AEW, TNA, WWE, just wrestling across the board. We all know that Brock Lesnar decided to walk away at WrestleMania. It was long rumored that he was going to wait until SummerSlam this year, which is in his home state of Minnesota, and he was going to go out. The plan was to have Gunther, do what he does to, tap out or to defeat, people like John Cena, AJ Styles, Goldberg, the list goes on. And that was the WWE plan for Brock Lesnar coming in the summer of this year. But Brock Lesnar decides to call a audible during WrestleMania, and I firmly applaud Brock Lesnar for doing this. He refused to go out by Gunther. He refused to go out in the way that WWE wanted him to go, and he decided to go out his way. I actually do think that Paul Heyman, his advocate, his manager, knew he was going to do this. There's a lot of people that think that Paul Heyman had no clue about it. I honestly don't think Triple H, TKO, WWE, anybody else knew about it. But I firmly believe that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar had private talks about what Brock was going to do after the match, and he and Paul Heyman knew that Brock Lesnar was leaving and walking away. I believe that. It's my own opinion. May not be true, but that's what I believe. Because they have been so close for years, for almost 20 plus years. So they know each other like the back of their hands. It firmly believes in my mind Paul Heyman knew what Brock Lesnar was going to do after his defeat by Obafemi at WrestleMania. Now, Brock did take his gloves and his shoes, his boots off and leave them in the ring. He stands up and gets a standing ovation from everybody over what Brock Lesnar has done to WWE and wrestling as a whole in the last 20 plus years. Well deserved. I mean, this man he is a beast, and he is a conqueror. He is everything that he says he is, the greatest combat sport athlete there ever was. WWE, UFC, MMA, it doesn't matter. Brock Lesnar is the top reign of that list. But he is a smart businessman when it comes to the wrestling business, and he does a lot of stuff that people do not give him credit for doing. Brock Lesnar did get his standing ovation. He did get his well-deserved flowers at the end of WrestleMania. In the ring, out of the ramp, all the way till when he left. And I believe that Brock Lesnar is fed up with creative in WWE. That includes Triple H, all the creative team backstage, TKO. He's done with it. I say all that to say this. With all the negativity that's sparking throughout the wrestling world, I firmly believe that it is going to tip the flag and tip the boat in the favor of AEW and Tony Khan. This, not that AEW is just going to rampage over WWE, but it may take a slow build. But it is, wrestling fans are outraged about everything that's went on in the last year, 6 months, the last month. I mean, TKO is not fixing anything. They are refusing to fix anything. They fired talent to recoup some of that money they lost at WrestleMania. The Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania and the Friday Night SmackDown after WrestleMania was supposed to be the biggest Raw and SmackDown of the year. They were both just regular, average, everyday shows. They wasn't anything spectacular. It is perfectly convicted in the eyes of the fans that TKO does not care about wrestling fans. They don't care about their wrestlers. They don't care. All they care about is the money. That's it. So that part injunction is going to tip the cap of the flag of the race over to Tony Khan, the president of AEW, and the company of AEW itself. Now, this is one question I do have for you. As of this month, as of April 2026, Brock Lesnar is 48 years old. I do not see this being, in my opinion, I do not see this being Brock Lesnar's last match. I firmly believe this was Brock Lesnar's last match in WWE, but one thing that I see coming in the future is Brock Lesnar is going to make his awaited surprise return to AEW. I think he gives Tony Khan that call, whether he gets a hold of, Chris Jericho or somebody else to help bring him in. I think he goes. Now, Paul Heyman, his advocate, it would be awesome to see Paul Heyman show up in AEW if potentially Brock Lesnar got there. I don't really see that happening unless by some way Paul Heyman just steps back from everything that he has done and everything that he's connected. I think he's too stuck in the spider web to leave. Unless he just wants to burn that bridge completely with WWE, I don't see that happening. But I do see that Tony Khan reaches out with Brock Lesnar and he tries his best. Brock Lesnar is a smart wrestling businessman, like I said a while ago. I do think Tony Khan can, and it is potentially possible for him to get Brock Lesnar in AEW. That will just shift it and continue to shift it in the right direction. Another thing I want to discuss real quick is Chris Jericho made the right decision. I mean, can you imagine for the last 12 months, that's all we heard is Chris Jericho's coming back to WWE. And fans blew up about it. They loved it. He's going to finish his career in the place where he started, and they're going to give him a retirement tour like they did with John Cena, a Hall of Fame, well worthy of. He's coming back to WWE. A month ago, he re-signed back with AEW. So, with all the chaos, can you imagine Chris Jericho coming back to WWE, signing a 2, 3, 4 year deal, with a retirement run at the end, and Hall of Fame, career Hall of Fame induction ceremony? Can you imagine what would they have done with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania? WrestleMania Night 1 was trash. Everybody knows it. What would they have done in the creative dysfunction that WWE is right now? They would have done nothing with Chris Jericho. Nothing. Yeah, maybe they would have slid him in. He could have come out when Danhausen was doing all that crappy stuff, and Chris Jericho could have slid in, and everybody would have popped real loud for his entrance, but there would have been no special segment, no special match for Chris Jericho. So did Chris Jericho make the right decision in re-signing with AEW, a company that he has helped build, a company that he is a part executive of? Yes, in my opinion, he made the absolute best decision. Now, will he have some kind of involvement if potentially Brock Lesnar comes into AEW? It's wait to see. But I know Tony Khan is just foaming at the mouth right now to get and pull any big name talent he can to try to stir his way up to climbing over WWE in that corporate ladder. This is all my opinion. There's no rumors on any of these. I'm just trying to shed some light on potentially what could happen as Brock Lesnar being 48 years old. I do not think he's done wrestling. Brock Lesnar has made a ton of money wrestling. I could be wrong. He could go back to some kind of MMA, UFC type deal. But I'm telling you, if Tony Khan can get in the ear of Brock Lesnar, he will get paid millions and millions of dollars, not have to be there every week. He'll get to do the schedule that he wants to do, and he will help shift the wrestling fans over to AEW, in my opinion. Stay tuned. See what's going to go down over the next few days, few weeks. I appreciate what you do. Like and subscribe. Share to my content. Everybody have a blessed day. And this is Matt Smith with Talking the SmackDown Wrestling Podcast. Appreciate what you do. Have a blessed day. Thank you.